fellow advocates of climate resilience and sustainable tourism, ladies and gentlemen, marajaw na hapon sa tanan. Welcome to Resilient Siargao, bridging resilience and tourism through early warnings. Organized by Komunidad, we are gathered here at the stunning Kawa Resort on this beautiful island to discuss a topic of utmost importance. To formally begin our program, everybody is requested to stand for a prayer, and please remain standing for the singing of the Philippine National Anthem through audio-visual presentation.
Heavenly Father, we come to you today. Heavenly Father, we come to you today with humble hearts, seeking your guidance and wisdom as we begin this program. Lord, we ask that you would bless every person who has gathered here today, and that you would be present with us in a special way. We pray that this program would be a time of learning, growth, and fellowship for all of us. Help us to listen to one another with open hearts and open minds, and to support one another as we strive to serve you in all that we do. Please give us the strength and the courage to follow your will, and to use the gifts and talents you have given us to make a positive difference in the world. We pray all of this in your holy name. Amen.
Mga kababayan, ang pambansang awit ng Pilipinas. Kayang magiging sa sinamalan, alam ng puso, sa titig mo'y buhay. Lumang hinirang, kuyagan ang magiting, sa manlulupin, di ka pasisigil, sa nagatang tulong sa simoy at sa langit ang pagaw, ay hinagang tulakaw, isang paglayang minamahal, ang isang lang pagkawat mo'y tagumpay na nagtitigil, ang ituwing at araw na kailan pa may magiging, lupa ng araw na walang pagsinta, buhay ang langit sa piling mo, ang ibigaya na pagkay mga amin, ang mamatay ng dahil sa'yo.
Please be seated. Before we dive into today's program, I'd like to acknowledge the partners who have made this event possible. The GSMA, the Foreign, Commonwealth and Development Office, UKAid, the Swedish International Development Cooperation Agency, our 9 local government units in Siargao Island, the Surigao del Norte Provincial Tourism Office, Siargao Island Protected Landscape and Seascape, Siargao Tour Guides and Organizers Association, Local Lab, and all the local stakeholders from both the public and private sectors who are dedicated to climate resilience and sustainable tourism. Thank you so much for your support. Now, to formally welcome us all in this monumental gathering, help me in welcoming Mr. Al Goles, Project Manager of Komunidad, to deliver the welcome remarks.
Hello, may hapon sa tanan. Mura maghinay yung tingog, sorry, walay snack. No, again, may hapon sa tanan, before I deliver my opening remarks, very brief speech, no. I would like to welcome katong wala welcome, especially the CSO, may mga CSO tayo dito na participant from the SITGOA. Also, may mga local NGO tayo from SICAT, no, I would like to recognize. May NGO din tayo from the Action Against Hunger, no, at saka ang local hub, meron tayo dito. And of course, the from the DNR, no, from the Aboites Foundation. Nandito din sila, galing pa sila ng Cebu, no, to witness this our event ngayon. Again, to all the visitors, welcome. No? I am delighted to welcome you all to the third Komunidad-XChange, no, entitled Resilient Siargao, Bringing Resilience and Tourism through early warnings. Siargao, known for its natural beauty and vibrant community, faces a pivotal moment in its journey towards sustainable development and resilience. Today, we came here to gather, not to foster greater understanding, cooperation, and innovative solutions to help Siargao thrive in the face of the challenges while preserving its unique charm. Our focus on the early warnings in the context of tourism resilience is not just a topic, but a call to action as we collectively strive to protect and enhance these island futures. No? Your engagement in this vital conservation is invaluable, and we look forward to the ideas, experience, and strategies that will emerge throughout this exchange. Together, we can pave the way for more resilient and sustainable Siargao. Thank you for being so committed to this cause, and let's embark on this journey as we shared learning and collaboration. And once again, maayong hapon sa tanan, o marajaw na adlaw, or marajaw na pagkari. Salamat sa tanan, o maayong hapon.
Thank you very much, Sir Al, for welcoming us all here in the Komunidad-XChange. And on behalf of Komunidad, I'd like to express their heartfelt gratitude for being here, for gracing this momentous celebration or occasion. Surigao Island, known for its pristine beauty, faced the harsh reality of Typhoon Odette. But just like they say, with challenges come opportunities. As such, we are here to promote early warning decision support tools for climate resilience to protect Siargao's natural beauty and ensure the sustainable growth of its tourism sector. At this juncture, we shall proceed directly to our next session, which is the Fireside Chat with our esteemed panel of experts. They will share their insights on climate resilience, early warning decision support tools, and sustainable tourism practices. So, let's get ready to absorb some invaluable knowledge. Now, it's my pleasure to introduce our Fireside Chat moderator, Ms. Iris Aroa, who will lead the conversation with our distinguished panel of speakers. Ms. Iris, as a co-founder of Local Lab, a grassroots NGO on a mission to empower Siargao's local community through sustainable projects inspired by island cultures, leads the way as the Admin and Social Enterprise Director. Her dedication to Siargao sustainability is sure to spark insightful decisions. Let's give our resounding applause to Ms. Iris Aroa. Courtesy aside, I am so honored to be hosting this gathering of people who are really working hard for sustainable development here in our island. So with that, I am honored as well to introduce to you our esteemed speakers. Our first speaker is a dedicated public servant who has made substantial contributions to Siargao Island. His background in IT consultancy and partner-driven development initiatives have significantly improved healthcare, education, fisheries, and local governance in the municipality of Del Carmen. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming the Honorable Mayor Alfredo Matugas Coro II. Our second speaker is the officer in charge at the Provincial Tourism Office of Surigao del Norte. With a passion for sustainability and a wealth of educational accomplishments, including a master's in tourism management from the University of Canberra, Ms. JJ's insights are sure to inspire. Please welcome Ms. Jolly Joyce Tibay. And our third speaker, Mr. Daniel Adrian Camingue, is a force in promoting sustainable tourism and community development on the island. As the president of Siargao Tour Guides and Organizers Association and executive director of Siargao ICT Council, his insights and stories of resilience are not to be missed. Let's welcome with a round of applause Mr. Adrian Camingue. And our fourth speaker is none other than Mr. Samuel L. Malayao. Sir Sam has a remarkable journey from his early days in southern Leyte to becoming the Protected Area Superintendent of Siargao Island Protected Landscape and Seascape. He's dedicated his career to environmental conservation and has been instrumental in managing the vast protected area in Siargao. Please welcome Mr. Sam Malayao. So our fireside chat is about to begin. Miss Iris, the stage is yours. Let's engage in a rich conversation about resilience and sustainable tourism in Siargao.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for the introduction, and I guess on behalf of everyone on the stage, I would like to thank Komunidad for inviting us and making us be a part of this really interesting event. I hope that we're all ready to learn and hear from our esteemed guests. And I guess without further ado, I will start my question with Mayor Coro. The first question will be for you. Ready na? Okay. So, as mayor of Del Carmen, you have an important role in the island's development. Can you please share to us some key strategies and achievements that have contributed to Siargao's resilience and sustainable tourism growth, particularly after Typhoon Odette?
Thank you. First of all, I'd like to extend our gratitude to Komunidad for organizing this wonderful event. It's a very nice place. We have the beach at the back, our very beautiful participants in front, and so it's going to be a good afternoon. I'd also like to acknowledge the good mayor of Burgos, who is joining us this afternoon and can provide a lot of insights in terms of resiliency as well. And again, to everyone, pleasant afternoon. The planning for resiliency doesn't start and end with Odette. It started way back. Way back in 2010, during my first time I joined public service, we saw an opportunity already with the vast mangrove forest of Del Carmen that was abused. A lot of mangrove cutting. In fact, DNR gave us a very wonderful title, the illegal mangrove cutting capital of the Philippines. That was way back 2010. Rampant illegal fishing and all of those very difficult problems to handle. Primarily because we realized that people didn't understand the power of what they had. Like, how do you capitalize on these wonderful natural assets to transform your community, your family, and even yourself, to be able to to use these assets to your advantage, at the same time protect it or sustain it so that it becomes a continuing process. And so we did that. Our strategy was very simple. We focus on first the science. You have to know if what's really in there. You know what? If you say we have to protect Siargao, what is there to protect in Siargao? What's really there? So what are you protecting? Is it the mangroves, the coral reefs, the wildlife that lives in our wonderful island? So you have to know all of those. Then with the science, you have to start communicating back to your community. Okay, so in this particular area, for example, in the mangrove forest of Barangay Mabuhay in Del Carmen, we have the nesting site of the crocodiles. So we know that already because we had the science. So we also know that you should never go there, even how beautiful it is, because of that risk. And we know now that we have nesting sites of marine turtles in Barangay Halian, also in Del Carmen. And since we know now, then we know how to protect it. So by knowing, we get the people to understand and appreciate, what we really have. And therefore, with their appreciation and with the science, we can now create policies. Then with the policies that are in place, we have our legislative team led right now by Honorable Renato Dolgime, who is communicating through the legislation of what the community stands for. And with that legislation comes, of course, the implementation of the policy, wherein if there are issues and actions that are inappropriate towards our appreciation of what resiliency, what protection is, then you get your corresponding punishment or whatever fines that comes with the policy. So it's a continuing process, but it's the very least is the apprehension. That's the last. The most important is the communication. And if you continue to communicate over the last few years with the action that corresponds to your communication, then you get the appropriate behavior you want. And in developing the behaviors of the community, they now have a better appreciation and embracement of what really wanted to stand for. So now there was a shift in the behaviors of our people in Del Carmen, and so they started seeing that the mangroves are not just there and it's not infinite. While they're there, they're vast, it's not infinite. It's something that you actually have to care for, to have to work for, so that it continues to give you the benefit that you want, which means it continues to become a shelter for the fish, so that we could continuously get the fish we wanted to eat. And even in a short time spent on sea, you could now get the fish that you would really want. And all of these things were tested many times during the pandemic, especially after the typhoon, when we saw how the mangroves protected the good people of Del Carmen. We saw a storm surge that was really rushing in, but because we had a very, very thick protection of the mangrove forest, then the strength of the wave was not there. It was just an increase in terms of the height of the water. And with that, we were able to survive the strength of what was supposed to be a very, very strong storm surge. And we always say this to everyone who asks us, similar to what you have asked, how did you survive the typhoon? We always tell them it took us 10 years to prepare for the 4-hour storm. So I think that encapsulates the whole story of Del Carmen.
Oh, thank you for that very insightful answer, Mayor. It's really amazing to know that you prepared even for an event that you didn't know was gonna happen, diba? But like it was always in the back of your mind to promote sustainability and resilience all throughout. I really like the science, that there is a science to what you're doing. I think it's very important given the challenges that we are facing as an island community, also with the climate change and all that. I think my next question would be with PASu, because you mentioned earlier, Mayor Coro mentioned earlier about like with DNR and how Del Carmen was before, right, when they didn't implement all these policies yet. So on your end, how does the Protected Area Management Office, how do you see it contributing to the efforts towards sustainable development and environmental preservation of Siargao? And currently, what are your main initiatives in this regard?
Good afternoon to everyone. Thank you for inviting me as one of your speakers here. To Komunidad, I'm very much thankful for having me part of your program. And going to your question, Protected Area Management Office is an office established under Department Administrative Order number 2019-05, which which was created to supervise the day-to-day management, protection, and administration of Siargao Island Protected Landscape and Seascape. We are guided by the Protected Area Management Plan. Ito po yung this is our Bible in the management of SIPLAS, because all activities that are implemented in SIPLAS are indicated in that management plan. Okay, so this is a long-term framework plan because to adapt and implement innovative management techniques, no? Such as zoning, zoning in the sense that in the whole Siargao, we have to zone it into two zones, the strict protection zone and the multiple use zone. Strict protection zones are those no-take zone. These are the areas that are really protected and nobody can do any activity within that zone. But for multiple use zone, these are the areas that regulated activities are allowed. No, so in this manner, we can say that we can pattern, or we can set activities that are really what is good for Siargao, for the protected area, that that in a way that the biodiversity of the area is conserved. No? So that's the way how we do it in Siargao. Lots of things that we used to do just to protect and conserve Siargao Island Protected Landscape and Seascape.
Okay, thank you, sir. By the way, also to the other speakers, if you feel that you want to add on or you have something to say, even if the question is not addressed to you, feel free to speak out after. Yeah, so thank you. Now I want to hear from more on the tourism side, because we know that Siargao is not only a protected area, it's also mainly known for the fact that a lot of tourists come here every year, and we are like on the front page of a lot of magazines, articles, and everything else, is not only in the Philippines but also abroad. So then that leads us to like how to make the tourism industry on this island sustainable, diba? And I think we have Miss JJ from the Provincial Tourism Office with us. I would like to ask you first, as a tourism and community leader, you've played a big role in promoting community-based tourism here on the island. Can you describe first how the community-based tourism is working here in Siargao? And would you say how has this benefited also the local communities?
Good afternoon. First and foremost, to Komunidad, thank you so much for the invitation. And to my co-panelists, good afternoon, Mayor. And to the highly esteemed visitors that we have now. I see some familiar and new faces the MTOs are here. I'm so happy that they are here also joining us. First and foremost, community-based tourism is just that not only a trend in tourism, but the Department of Tourism really focuses on this approach because it is our strong resolve, and we totally believe that through community-based tourism, that will only sustainability will only happen when we have to anchor in that form of tourism. It is because first and foremost, the major benefit that we can get from community-based tourism is human empowerment or people empowerment. So even in the advent of AI now, the human capital still plays a vital role in this age, because as human as we are really have to relate. We only find meaning through relationship. So with this people empowerment comes out from both tacit knowledge and explicit knowledge. That is why every member will be capacitated through this source of information. So out from these two sources of knowledge comes out personal responsibility and social responsibility. So there you are. In the process of community-based tourism approach, it is part of its dynamics that in the dynamics wherein each member, especially the key factor for its success is the active participation of every member in the decision-making process, is very vital. So here, if we have to relate it to resiliency, once a person is already empowered, it is not anymore difficult to communicate to them what to do and what not to do, because they themselves have an empowered choice because of that knowledge that they have acquired. I'd like to emphasize the tacit knowledge or the indigenous knowledge, where every member of the community will able to gain a knowledge out from their experience, is what is very gratifying, because not only personal, but dala-dala na niya yan. It become part of the person kahit na hanggang sa mag-retire na siya. Nobody can get that from them. And then what is beautiful with learning from experience is the community were able to have their local ownership of anything, of any endeavor that they have to do with community-based approach, not only in decision making, in the decision making processes, but also they will be able to learn to partner and to seek out support from others for other resources, and then they will be able to share the resources of their community as well as its benefits. Those are part of it. And then they will be able, from the indigenous knowledge that they will gain, they will be able to achieve a certain distinct character in that community, because the whole dynamics of community-based tourism approach is it works within the culture of the community. So that's the most important thing that we always consider this in the Department of Tourism. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for that very insightful answer, ma'am. I think I just have maybe a short follow-up question, because you really emphasize the kind of the value, diba, of indigenous knowledge, or that tacit knowledge that the local communities or individuals from Siargao already have. And I think us in Local Lab, for instance, we also, like in our mission or vision statements, it's also for us trying to really bring that out, and preserving that, or allowing it to flourish, and facilitating the exchange of that knowledge. Are there how would you say, initiatives by the DOT to kind of encourage the encourage or preserve also these forms of knowledge, given also that me or our kind of point of view as outsiders, sometimes us Filipinos were very hospitable, you know, and we really try to accommodate the outsiders or visitors. And for us, we see it as kind of it could be a threat to like the local way of living or the local way of doing things. So on kind of like a tourism aspect, are there activities, projects, or initiatives being done to kind of preserve the indigenous knowledge or way of life?
That's true, no? That any approach will always have a two side of the coin. But seeing it positively, I think we are more consoled in the fact that community-based tourism approach has translated a lot of more on benefits. No? Especially one, I am very much a fan of Local Lab because they inspired me a lot when we visited there in San Isidro. Because Ma'am Annalyn, I just so happened that Ma'am Annalyn was my former student in high school. And then I was so surprised I found her there farming and enjoying everything that she was doing there in what is this farm? The Ihayas farm. Yeah, Ihayas farm. Very unique name. I can only speak for the province, no? I don't know with other provinces, but in Surigao del Norte, since we assumed office only 1 year pa lang, no? So what would retain on my mind, which is very active in community-based approach, is Coro, no? In the way they manage Sohoton Cove, no? And then they are the what is this? The model, I should say, of a community-based tourism, no? Because it is run by a specific community. Farmers ba, Sir Agay? Well, PO, I forgot the name, basta PO yan sila. And then, out from there, the way they manage Sohoton Cove is really the manifestation of what is the essence of community-based tourism. No, they make the decision in the management and how they run the attraction, while at the same time safeguarding really the conservation and the preservation of the cove and all that. You can see when you visited Sohoton Cove right away, that's the impression that you can get straight from them, how they cohesively work collectively. That's one major thing that is good with community-based tourism, because they have to, because of the empowered process that they have acquired, they have this social responsibility where they act out collectively. No, that's what is nice there, and very consoling. And yet, at the same time, each member, you can see na they are really close to each other, always looking after of each other as member, and then that thing. So the province is, I think I can say na parang baby step pa lang kami, though I really wanted to share the Siargao experience, especially Mayor also is very much active in working with Carmen, although Sugba is LGU ba, Mayor? Community-based then. And then there was another one now in school-based na for the the agriculture aspect, wherein they engage in agritourism, which is run by young ones, the students, no, of SNSU. yeah, Project Ilaja, no? That is one thing na young entrepreneurs were trying to integrate the new technology with the indigenous ones. That thing. So my salute to Mayor JR for that. And we are very inspired with this narrative, no, that transpiring in Siargao. So I hope really that this kind of approach will reach mainland Surigao, no, because we, as what I've reflected also, now this is one thing beautiful with this kind of discourses because we keep on learning from each other. That's the thing. Yeah, I think. Yes, yes, Mayor.
Yes, in terms of tacit knowledge, I think there's a new law called the Cultural Mapping Act, 11969, if I'm not mistaken. It forces the local government units to actually conduct cultural mapping and submit it to, I think, the Department of Tourism together with the CCP as the main actor in ensuring that we preserve our cultural heritage. So a lot of local governments are already trying to implement this, trying to capture local stories and history. Unfortunately, for places like Siargao and a lot of our communities in the Philippines, we really didn't care to document before a lot of our history. So this law allows us hopefully to catch up and build the story of each of our communities, not in accordance with what is already currently we have right now, which is more of faith-based history, but more of ensuring that the real history of the Philippines is captured in our actual cultural story.
Well, thank you also for that additional information, Mayor. That's very interesting. Yeah, because I think like from what we observe sometimes compared to our Southeast Asian neighbors, the Philippine destinations, they kind of lack that aspect of the cultural side, no? So it's kind of sayang because we have a really beautiful scenery. I hope so. Hope so. We will catch up. Speaking of tourism, so I would like to go to Mr. Camingue because you're like really involved on the Adrian on the more on the kind of like should we say business side? Like we got the point of view of the our speakers from the government. So in your point of view, what is the role of community? How do you see the role of community-based tourism in preserving Siargao's natural beauty and also promoting sustainable tourism as a whole here on the island?
Hello. Okay, first and foremost, I'd like to thank Komunidad for inviting me here and also the audience, my co-panelists. Good afternoon. So back to the question about community-based tourism, the role of community-based tourism in promoting sustainable tourism practices and preserving the natural beauty of Siargao. Basically, community-based tourism is community-driven. So the role of community-based tourism is focused on positioning the community in the tourism development and management plan of the local government. So by empowering the community, for example, for the community to be involved with the decision making of the tourism development and management process of the LGU on how they develop their area, for example, and also this could also help the community engage with tourists, and share their talents and share their culture and tradition. And I agree with Ma'am Jolly about her insights about the empowering the community. Second, if I may add also, is for the cultural preservation. So, uh, if if we encourage if we encourage our frontliners to to educate our tourists to learn our local culture and tradition, so we could maintain the unique identity of our island and also preserve the historical and cultural heritage. Third is the environmental conservation, which in a way this could reduce reduce the number of tourists who damage the environment or damage the, by educating them and raise awareness about the importance of preserving the natural beauty of Siargao. And fourth is maybe look for alternative tourism models that prioritize sustainable development, like for example, ecotourism, nature-based tourism, and a community-based tourism, which supports the local, which focus the focus is to support the local community, sustainable development, and preserving the environment.
Okay, thank you. Just a follow-up question, because we've been talking about the environment, yeah, and you're also mentioning the environment. In your role as the president of SITGOA, what initiatives would you say are being kind of undertaken right now to make sure that the tourism activities on the island are in harmony with the island's ecosystem? And have you encountered any conflicts? And what have you done, I guess, to address those conflicts?
Okay, so SITGO has been an active and credited partner of local government unit of General Luna, and has already initiated lots of programs and events, ensuring that these activities are in harmony with the tourism development and environmental protection. So first, we have a lot of advocacies in sustainable development. So we have in tourism rather, we have a lot of advocacies. Number one is the cultural and preservation advocacy, which we conducted the Combate Siargao Budol Fight setup competition. So basically, the aim of this event is to promote the local food culture of Siargao. And second, we also initiated and organized the Philippine Digital Nomad Summit. We partnered with the ICT Council and DICT with Mayor Coro. So we are advocating technology tourism, technology tourism. Third, we also we propose ordinances for the tourism activities in General Luna. For example, regulation of the island hopping activities, tour packages, tour guide rates, tour assignments. We have also proposed the no guide, no tour policy. What else? The monitoring and screening system of the illegal tour operators. So, which also it advocates community-based tourism. So, fourth is we are also involved in the drafting of the proposal of the National Risk Reduction Management Manual with the central office, DOT central office, which advocates climate change resilience. And fourth, we also conducted coastal cleanup programs and initiatives Say, for example, Gallon of Life initiative after Odette and relief operations. Yeah, that would be all.
Wow. Wow, I didn't know SITGOA is so active pala. I didn't. I think we've been hearing about SITGOA, but we were never really acquainted with what you do as as an association. So that's very, very interesting to know. Congrats.
Thank you.
Ma'am Iris,
Yes, ma'am.
I would like also to add na SITGOA is very much, they ensure that their members are accredited, and then they undergo, there's no member that is not DOT trained tour guides. No, so with that, they are already updated with in terms of sustainability and all the new set of guidelines that DOT standards is giving. So that is what I always admire with SITGOA through Sir Adrian's leadership.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Oh, congrats, sir. Yeah, so going back, I think we've talked a lot about tourism, but one of the main objectives of this event is really to raise awareness on early warning systems, right? So I think Mayor Coro already discussed earlier about how in Del Carmen they've been essentially preparing for this for the past 10 years. How the people of Del Carmen are actually very involved and they see the importance of preserving the environment or helping also kind of protect the natural assets, which in your case are the mangroves, and then it really helped, right, during Typhoon Odette. So for you, Mayor, how critical or how important do you see early warning systems are in the context of Siargao's future? And something also interesting that I would like to know is what can other islands learn from your experience?
Early warning systems are very, very critical because we are part of the eastern side of the Philippines, and it's known as the Pacific Jinx. So which means we absorb all the storms and all the possible risks that comes with it. So as in Siargao in particular, we have a 4-month typhoon season in a year. So that comes from November to February. Locally, we call it our Amihan season. And it's actually starting. We just hope that this year it won't be as strong as, the previous years, but it happens. And because it happens, and you know that it will happen year on year, that's why you prepare. And the early warning systems, if you distribute it accordingly, depending on, again, the science, you have to know the risk of each particular community where floodwaters comes in. It changes every year because we do a lot of development work. We develop roads that sometimes we forget to put that there should be a drainage system with the road. We forgot to put a imbornal in the road so the water flow doesn't go in. And you do not see it until you experience it. And you have to catch up. And when you start catching up, you again have to adjust your early warning systems. So that's one. The second is on terms of nature-based solutions for early warning systems. We have already a lot of science that goes with our nature-based solutions to prove that, again, mangroves are the best greenbelt zones that you could put out there. Second is you have to prepare for your water. Watershed forests are very critical. In Siargao, our water utilization is now increasing. And in an island like ours, we don't have any other water source. So you have to understand that if we don't do something about how to store water, to recycle water utilization, then we might end up with a problem with water. It becomes a very expensive resource in our beautiful island. So how do you now manage that? If you forecast your potential activities and utilization, that's already a warning for you. So early warning systems are not defined now by the risks that are coming in tomorrow, but the risks that are coming in 20 or 30 years. That's why we talk a lot about climate change, and I think a lot of the technologies that are available now will give us that foresight on how to plan properly for the next 20 to 30 years. And we should start doing it now. And third is the really the tomorrow. So technologies like what Komunidad has been sharing with all of us allows us to prepare an upcoming storm. Like in the next 3 days, you already see that the storm is coming. And because you have already the data that captures on a per barangay level that these are the areas that will be flooded, these are the potential areas that will be at risk, you know how to respond. And you practice the response. You don't just, put it on a manual and not actually try it, but you have to actually practice it. And with practicing, also, you start recognizing that if you do this, there's a potential, that are the potential risk and risk reduction efforts that you could do, which includes, you start stockpiling in an island because your island community might not be reachable when the storm comes and post the storm. So how do you store food in that island so that they can still survive for at least the next 3 days? So a lot of those things comes with the support and the technologies that are being provided before us because they give us rightful data that are used to make very good decisions in terms of ensuring that we could respond when the risk happens.
Yeah, that's so true. I agree. And on the tourism side, Miss Jolly, what role do you think would sustainable tourism play in terms of building resilience in island destinations like ours here in Siargao?
Yeah. By the way, we have CERT projects, which is S stands for Sustainability, I Inclusive, Resilient Tourism, CERT. No? That is already approved by TIEZA for Siargao Island. And we are very much happy that it is working already at the level of the finality of the project. And however, on the last meeting that we had, they forgot. I have updated rather that we are also short of power supply. No, so a lot of resort owners were already complaining. All of a sudden, their appliances will just shake. No, so that to indicate that we are lack of power supply. So I think TIEZA would be including that. Sustainability really is the focus of the province now. The fact that we have shifted our vision as a major ecotourism hub in Caraga. So with that, with ecotourism as the focus, sustainability is inherent with that form of tourism. For one reason is we will be able to adapt measures that will, because ecotourism is inherently conserving and preservation of our natural resources, and we also try to work out on developing the blue carbon and the green carbon, wherein through planting of mangroves, I even propose a mass planting of mangroves to produce blue carbon, especially in our area. So hopefully in the future magpartner kami ni Mayor para madungagan pa gajud ang mangroves sa Del Carmen. So we can really protect the whole Siargao area. Tapos we will collectively do it until may pinakatumoy, Burgos and Benito. Burgos, no? Abot dito sa Burgos. Oo. Let's plant it together collectively, no? So that thing. So what is good in tourism when we embrace sustainability is we really have to strike the balance of the environment, the socio-cultural, and the economic side of those dimensions. So with this, I am also excited to share with the Komunidad because we just signed a MOA with Simple Via, wherein we are already in the finality also, developing the platform, the e-tourism for the province of Surigao del Norte, wherein I think the early warning system of Komunidad could be one of the menus there in the platform. No, so I am looking forward with that, Ma'am Kay, soon. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, for that very insightful answer. It's exciting all the efforts that your office is starting to do, considering you've only been in office for 1 year. We're excited to see what is to come in the coming years. So, yeah, based on your answers, it seems like it really also points out to really preserving our environment, which I would give my next question to Sir Samuel. You are also a leader in the conservation efforts with the PAMO office and DNR. What advice would you give to other regions or communities, given our experience here on the island? What advice would you give to other communities that want to enhance their environmental protection strategies and also promote sustainable tourism?
Thank you. Sustainable tourism really starts with oneself. No? It's very important that discipline is instilled in everyone so that sustainable tourism can be achieved. No? So because it's a product of values transformation of everyone, because one has to be empowered in order to give a contribution for the conservation of our environment. No, because we cannot just go on with what is happening now, that we have lots of tourists, the influx of tourists in Siargao, without taking consideration on the responsible tourism. No? So it's very important for everyone to be self-disciplined and responsible in every way.
Thank you, sir. My next questions are gonna be for everyone na. So first of all, what in your opinion are the key lessons that we learned from the challenges that Siargao has faced so far, and how have they shaped the island's journey towards resilience? Ladies first.
Ladies first. I 3 points ra. No? So first is other island destinations. We learn from the Surigaonons our resilience, number one. Na Surigaonons are true to our identity as having that inner strength in the midst of adversities. We don't easily give up. And in every effort that we wish to do, we appreciate unity amidst diversity, where there is mutual respect. No? So that is one thing that we have achieved up to this point of time. That is why we were able to rise up fast after the Odette, because each Surigaonon has that strong belief that we don't easily give up with this kind of adversities. Matod pa, isog ang Surigaonon sa Marajaw na paagi. Lahi na kaisog na mukumbate sa hagit ng kinabuhi. Grabe bagang kalayo mo naman nanto, Mayoro. Amo dyan, isa na, it's a very strong character of being a Surigaonon, which other island destination could learn from us. And then continuous learning from each other. And this is what I have appreciated since I sit down. Each municipalities, they always have something to give to us where we continuously learn from them. This is what I appreciate so much. Thank you.
I'll go next. Is it okay, ma'am? I'll go next. Okay, so similar to Ma'am Jolly, 3 points then. First is know your science. As an island, you have to understand your pain points, your opportunities, and especially that we are a protected landscapes and seascapes, the largest one actually in the country, with inhabitants, and we are the only one with a lot of people. The other one that's similar to us is Batanes, but they only have like 20,000. We are growing almost daily with influx of tourism, and therefore you have to know your science. What's your limit? What should not be done? And I think this is the first one. The second, because you know your science, is you have to start innovating. What can you do more? When we did our program for digital nomads, that was an innovation because we could not rely on ecotourism alone. You have to start tweaking ecotourism to have more people that are like-minded, that would like to stay longer and create new opportunities for the good people of Siargao. So by innovating, you invite new opportunities and create, you know, probably better opportunities, especially for the next generation. The third would be go global. Siargao is already known as being one of the top, right now, one of the top islands in Asia. But we have gone global since 2018, 2019. We were declared the #1 island in the world. So because you go global, you look at practices of other island destinations as well. Within the Pacific Rim, there's a lot already. And if you go through the Caribbean islands, you see a lot of innovations that you could copy. Why limit yourself to the Philippine context when there's a whole world out there that has done something good already and you can copy it. Case in point is during the pandemic, wherein we copied one of the things that was done in Palau. So I had the privilege of meeting online the president. So we shared ideas and we copied the quarantine resorts. It was launched here in Siargao and it was copied with the whole country. And that allowed the tourism industry to rethink that maybe we can survive this crisis. And that idea was not new. It was copied from a really global destination already, which is Palau. And there are a lot more other practices that are really being done in Palau if you have the right science to support the possible innovation that you can copy in a global destination. So I hope it provides a clear point on that.
Yes, thank you, Mayor.
Okay, my turn. Okay, for me, there's only one thing that I learned from. Let's take Odette as our experience. No? It's the importance of preparedness. Yeah, because Siargao has learned the significance or crucial importance of being prepared for disasters and having early warning systems in place. So I also learned that the significance of investing in infrastructures such as building climate smart buildings, and also proper investing in protecting our environment. Say for example for the for what proper water waste management systems, and also we should also invest in early warning sirens, the communication networks that provide timely alerts that could also minimize the negative impacts of disaster.
Is my turn already? Okay. The experience in Siargao and in some other parts of the country with regards to disasters is a big lesson to everyone. It's very important for everybody to be ready at all times. There's a it's really important for everybody to be aware on what to do during disasters. We experienced disaster such as Typhoon Odette, wherein lesser people, lesser casualties were experienced. It is because people have already are already aware on what to do, and they're already aware on how to survive this kind of disasters. I'm very much happy to see people in Siargao na ang bilis mag-recover. No? Ang bilis. Thank you for the efforts of the LGUs, such as Mayor JR here, who really made a lot of things just to survive their communities, no? And for the DNR, it is very important for it's a wake up call for everyone to really put in the forefront of everyone's endeavor the environmental conservation, no? And take a lot of importance on what we are going to invest in the environment, because climate change is here, and we have to adapt, no? And what we are going to do is just to make things that could for us to adapt the ever-changing climate that we have, and it's the people is the key to survive.
Yeah, thank you everybody for your answers. I get this sort of feeling that the common thread with the lessons learned were really more on kind of knowledge, awareness, no, and then sharing that and learning from it, which is, I guess, very apt given what Komunidad is offering us, which is like a way for us to know in advance what to expect. And it's something that is easy to access also, especially for like policymakers and groups like yours. So I think I'm just gonna have one last question, siguro, because I know that we need to have time also for questions from the audience. So this is also for everybody. So given what we've learned and also what we've talked about Siargao's journey towards resilience, what would be your aspirations for Siargao's future, and would you have any messages to the audience to encourage them to also take part in our efforts towards resilience and preserving Siargao? Like, we can start with Sir Samuel. Uh-oh. Reverse.
Aspirations. Anyway, I'm looking at people in Siargao that's always looking at what is for the better benefit of all, not just for the environment but also for the people that are in Siargao, because Siargao will not exist for this current situation. As Mayor Coro said, Siargao is one of the protected areas in the Philippines that is already inhabited with people. So it is very important that people shall live in harmony with nature. So it is very important what the people are doing should be for the benefit also of the environment. Thank you.
Okay. In response with the climate resilience, maybe my aspirations is I'm consistent with my objectives, which is Siargao should invest in resilience and research and development, because in that way we could innovate systems that will make us prepared for disasters. And also my message to all Siargao nun,
To the audience.
to the audience, especially to those who are passionate and enthusiastic with preserving our Siargao, is just keep on what you're doing, live on live on what live on live in this island, live on, and then move on. Move on means move on what you're doing, be better and better, because being better is the core quality of being strong, and be resilient.
Aspirations. It's well, simply that we hope to be here for the long run. We hope that the island would respond with what our actions have. Our true actions would really benefit the island, and technologies will be around to make sure that we could know better how to respond to crises that are coming in, and we don't know what they are, but we can only hope and prepare. And hopefully, with all our preparations, with all the technologies available, like what Komunidad is giving us for early warning systems and a lot more, we'll be able to plan out better the lives we want to live within the island or outside and coming back. And at the same time, using all of what we have, the knowledge that we are able to capture, we'll be able to really preserve, the culture that you mentioned earlier of what Siargao really is all about. And I hope that whatever experiences that Siargao has been able to capture in the last few years, especially with how resilient the people the community have shown to everyone, that it can be replicated. There are 7,000 plus islands in the Philippines, and we hope that the small islands can learn from our mistakes, from our lessons as well, so that we can be inspired to continue the actions that we have been doing. So, yeah, Siargao forever.
In the tourism perspective, especially in destination development, there is this what we call a cycle. And I hope, it is my aspiration that Siargao will not reach in the stage of stagnation, because that is the most critical stage according to Butler's model. And with that, that would remain to be a challenge for the host destination, the local, especially the local community. I hope we will be working together with all the resources that we meant to be shared and to be benefited by others. And it is my hope that tourism will truly be the medium, or an agent that will really give quality of life to every Surigaonon. Thank you.
Thank you very much, esteemed speakers, for such an insightful chat. I learned a lot. I hope the audience learned a lot as well. I think, is it time for questions and answers? Okay. 2 questions. Okay. So we have time for 2 questions now. Does anyone want to ask any of our speakers any questions? I have some advice from our speakers. Mayor Arsena of Burgos. Do you want to share some of your insights to the audience?
Good evening, everyone. Dili ra good. Lima ko speaker. Sa Burgos, our municipality is one of the hardest hit by Typhoon Odette. Yet there is no casualty because of the face-to-face or forced evacuation by the authorities to the people living in near the shoreline and the whole community as well. So, with regards to the new tool of Komunidad, I know it will help a lot, not only here in Siargao, not only in our municipality in Burgos, but the whole people here in Siargao. Kay lagi, kita ko man, updated na technology, high-tech na, so I'm sure Komunidad will help us lessen or eradicate or mawaya na yan ay ngamatay. We know that here in GL may casualty sila. So I hope with the help of the modern technology by Komunidad, we can have ma-achieve nato ang 100% zero casualty here in Siargao if in case there is a calamity. That's all.
Thank you, Mayor. Does anybody else want to share their insight or ask questions?
Hello, good evening. I am Nestor Spinido, one of the SB member from Municipality of San Isidro. I have to I have two things to ask. First is about tourism. In the north side of Siargao Island, it's like not like in General Luna that that is a lot of tourists, and they are full of tourists in their resorts and everywhere. But if you visit the north side, it's like a little tourist only. So it's like I am asking for help if it is possible na the other places like General Luna, the municipality of General Luna, the LGU can help the north side. So how it is possible to share, maybe they will offer also the north side in their tour packages before the tourists will arrive in Siargao. They will already, include to their packages para naman masama ang north side. Especially our river tour. We have river tour before, but it's already devastated by the Typhoon Odette. But we are working right now na mabalik ang amo kayak-kayak dito. So, ang amo, what if ma-active otro ang amo kayak, then it's the same thing way gapon a tourist na mga to kay ang mahitabo. I am also a tour guide, trained by the DOT. So kilaya na ako doon mga tour guide from General Luna. When I asked them, di man kamo makaabot ng North, ng Pacifico. They are in Magpupungko only. The driver said, the tour packages is only Magpupungko Rakutob. It's 4,000. So if the tourist will ask to go to Pacifico, it's additional 4,000. Di na kaya ng turista kasi the turista before arrive in Siargao, it's already paid. So budgeted na. Wala na sila budget na mag-additional. So ang ako tana, before sila mo arrive ng Siargao, may choices na include ang North, ang Burgos, ang Alegria, ang Baybay, ang Pacifico. Not only the Tri-Island and Sugbalagon, bagan kasuya sab na sila ramon permi. Kami gadin taon niya may tao sa amo, which is mulaong ang mga turista na doon mag self-drive, kalami ba sa North, kaya may ikabaylo. So, ang iban sab na makakita ng they say the post in Facebook, they are interested to go to North, but the problem is the tour packages is not included. So that's why I'm asking now, maybe the LGU of Municipality of General Luna can help us to include in their packages, no, sa mga private operator ng tour packages. Then the second one is about preparation for the calamities, because what we have experienced in San Isidro during that night, before 3 days before the audit arrived, we already forced evacuation from Barangay Pacifico and other places. They evacuated in the municipal gym. So we thought na it's safe, but it's not. We transferred in the municipal hall. We also thought that it's safest. Also, our former governor was there and Ma'am Sol. So it's already devastated, guba agad. So kalang namo katapusan na sa kinabuhi. So what I am asking now is if there is a group or can help us to build evacuation center for that kind of calamity. Dili basta-basta. Kung mga munisipyo sa mga gym guba, pati pillar, if you see the pillar, grabe ka power ang ila gym pero guba gapon. So if it is possible, we can build like panggira na mga evacuation center. Then the third one is if it is possible, if there is group can train rescue search and rescue group. Kay diri sa Siargao way ato active na search and rescue group aside from the Coast Guard and the fire, pero pilara sila, even the police. Actually, the MDRR, every municipalities is conducting trainings every year, I think, but the problem, after the training, parang wala lang. Adara mangaon sa training, kuha t-shirt, uli sila bayay. Why pakialam? If there is an incident along the road, labdyan ra. Ako gusto dyan active na group volunteer. I was also a rescue volunteer from Cebu. It's called SIVSAR, no? Sometimes na makalabay ako nan may disgrasya, mutabang ako. Kaya dili sabtanan pwede mutabang. So only well-trained can help if there is vehicular incident, especially sa Norte. Pero may mga banggaan kay amo lagi may mga seminar. But not only for the in an incident na banggaan. Also after audit, why gazud search and rescue na volunteer na active na mo doing like magtabang, So hopefully na mo to ma-addressan and ako mga gusto mahitabo, especially in the north side. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Sa province na level, sir. Sa province na level, sir, we have revised already our tourism development plan because the previous one, they have their circuiting. Since we shifted our vision to ecotourism, so we have a new cluster and a new circuit for the north. For Siargao, we classified it as the North Siargao Geotour Loop, Biodiversity and Geotour Loop, no? And then the South Siargao, which is here, including Coro, is the Eco Adventure Loop. So with that, we can already help our tour operators to repackage, to innovate their packages, wherein we can already share the tourist market going to the north. And I have been also articulating to the MTOs during our first quarter meeting that if possible, we have to help each other in the province, not only here in Siargao Island, but what we are doing is we try to give our brochures na those resorts here in Siargao will at least have brochures from the mainland because we also want to share the tourism benefits to the mainland, not only to north of Siargao, so that we will all be helping each other promoting our tourist attractions. And then other than that, also, in the province, there are a lot of groups, private groups, sports enthusiasts who is coming to Siargao. They, especially the Kayak Philippines, sir, sino? Sa San Isidro. What's your first name, sir? Nestor. Sir Nestor, I'd like to ask your contact details so that I can introduce you to Kayak Philippines. They are slated to come on February. No, so we will be coordinating closely with you so that they can include San Isidro for their, because as what you have said, kayak is appropriate for that activity in San Isidro. Okay, and then the second, for the infrastructure, we will see to it na as what Mayor, what we have shared with Mayor is, and DRR is especially in the rescue and all the things are mandated per municipality, no? I think kaya lang nga they come short in funds, Mayor, or in the budget. If there's a 5% for DRR, should be enough ko, no, sabi ni Mayor Coro. So we will see to it that in consistency with the environmental consciousness and awareness that we have, we will push for infrastructure that is what is this? Climate resilient or climate proof or disaster proof buildings, not just environmentally sensitive buildings. But most of all, we appreciate so much, sir, articulating your need for this kind of infra. Okay, para we could produce quality infrastructures in terms of for evacuation centers.
Hello, SB. If I may, daon taga-GL sa likod. Ako yato patubagon sa imong hangyo sa GL. Na tour package pagabot sa GL pagadtuon ra kan sa San Isidro di na mo suroy sa GL. Bago na gimmick sa GL. Anyway, if I may share our gamay nga experience in Del Carmen. We didn't have tourists also before. But you have to build a story. Tourism is about experiences and storytelling. So you have to build the experience. Why would I want to go to the north? Diba? So you can start with trying to understand culture. What's the northern culture? Diba? If you want to use the brand of the north, then use the brand of the north. The north of Siargao, the north is coming, whatever. But you have to build to back up the story. Okay, dili doon mo kadto ang tourist if you just wanna advertise another beach. You know, what's wrong with a beach here? I mean, why would I wanna go there? Diba? So you gotta build up something. And for example, you have lokal. I mean, they're building a very good story of why people go to San Isidro because they wanna visit lokal. Diba? They go to Burgos because you have a very beautiful mayor. Cave. Did I? See? So you gotta build the story. So find a good story that you could anchor, then use it as your selling point. So people will go. Then another trick would be to use your policy, which means you try to provide investment incentives. So if for every tourist that, let's say, SITGOA would bring, you want to give them some points that they can claim from the LGU later on with a free mug or free food. So any gimmick or trick that you could entice operators to bring tourists to your destination because you have a story to tell, then that's a good one. And the second point of building resiliency, it's really expensive to build evacuation centers that are really strong because the storms will just continue to get stronger. The liability of an engineer, Jari Mananamo municipal engineer, is only up to 180 kilometers per hour or 65, I think, under the law. More than that, wala na liability an engineer because you don't know what will happen. If it becomes a 200 kilometer per hour storm, the gustiness of Odette was, I think, 305. So how would you prepare for a 305 wind that's hitting your door for 4 hours? You can't, right? So you have to plan the alternative. How do you save the people? Then how do you design that they build back faster? Because you can only save so much. But we have to save them all. Because that becomes our obligation. So we have to look at things differently. As an island, the storm will always be here. 4 months in a year. So if in preparing, you have the science from Komunidad, then you would know what to prepare and which barangays we need to put your evacuation facility. Kay dito siguro pinakakusog mo iguan bayod. Kimusuyod gajud kaya may bakaw. Di ba? Kay amo man daw. So daw may ang Pacifico side kabayo gajud ko na musuyod ang bayod. So kung musuyod ang bayod, haman nimo padjaganon ang mga tao. So that's a consideration, you have to decide as a community. And on the third one, in terms of rescue, Jari sa Banamo Kuan, Anamo MDRR, I think 5% is more than enough. But you have to accept it as a habit and as a behavior. A culture ba? A culture of trying to rescue each other. Pirmi man kami makaigo ng aksidente. The airport to General Luna Road has the same number of accidents as Surigao to Butuan. Year on year. Diyan ang pinaka-critical na dayan. Kay tanan dito man lupad ang sakyanan. Mas kuno ni pagsagda man lupad gadud. But we came prepared all the time. Kay amo man animo, amo man ato kuan. Kabayo man kaw, again early warning, you know already that something will happen on this road. So you have to prepare for it, how to rescue. In terms of dagat, all of our boat operators are WASAR trained. Every year we do that. We spend on it because we bring the tourists out to the sea. You have to make sure that they feel comfortable that you can bring them out. And we partner with good agencies like the Philippine Coast Guard, the Marina, PPA, even BFAR. Tanan-tanan dyan sila contributes to making your readiness. Medyo kampante kaw na kung jay mahitabo, as you mentioned, jay maka-rescue and they are well trained. So it's a whole of society approach with the BFP as a main partner because they're the only ones, and the PNP, they're the only ones operating at night. Diba? And kita, normally we operate in the morning, but their agencies are trained to operate at night 24/7. So what's your relationship with these other national agencies to make sure na dyan imo concern na pagjay mahitabo, there's a rescue that can come in. It's a system. You gotta build it from the ground up if necessary, but gotta spend the 5%, and I think that's more than enough. But you have to plan it multi-year. Dili man gid siya kung manatuig balit ka mo boom truck because you need to get vehicles kay mga huyog na kay nato highway taas. Diba? So if you start planning it out, you'll see that you can actually plan it. And I think the funds that you have might be more than enough to plan it out on a year-on-year basis. Kuan lamang plano gadod antos, again, look into the data that you have para ma-plaster ninyo with LGU San Isidro.
Hi guys, I'm Mark from Local Lab. This question is more for Mayor Coro and the DNR. I feel like in the overall conversation was talking about preparedness and like the next disaster happening. And I feel like one of the main player in this game is the DPWH with building seawalls that should resist surges, same as the story as what happened in Burgos, or even in the way they build highways all around the island, cutting trees. That is kind of like anti everything you guys are talking about. And Mayor Coro, you were talking about science-based knowledge. DNR, you're talking about protecting the environment. How can we educate the DPWH in that direction, knowing that they're on a protected island, and knowing that for the tourism, we don't need a 4-lane highway for scooters. And also, like, building highways is augmenting the risk of accidents, augmenting the load on the hospitals and everything. So is there ways that every municipalities here present can kind of put pressure on DPWH to kind of calm down their cementing of the island?
Yeah. Let me answer it in a different way. We need the roads. We need the roads because the roads allow us to first respond faster. To whatever crisis there is, we could respond faster. And that's part of planning. You gotta build road because you respond faster. Second, roads are good because, it allows also your products to be out faster. And part of our product is the service industry of tourism. So it means they can visit multiple places, maximize their experience, and therefore Siargao becomes a whole island destination because of those construction. So actually, DNR is trying also its best to what they think is best. But we are also recognizing that there are certain challenges that can be improved in terms of how they build roads. As mentioned earlier, some of our areas before they built the roads were not flooded, but because they forgot to put a drainage canal, it might be missing, and they have to catch up. So what we have requested so far with the DPWH is that they start looking into the science of how things should be done, and not in the process that it's gonna slow down the opportunities that we are able to access the funds for, but to be able to forecast potential issues of existing infrastructures that we have in place. And hopefully, the next funds will allow us to mitigate whatever issues that we have understood because of the new developments that are coming into play. And dialogues like this would really help to get the attention of DPWH to be more cognizant of the things that they need to be aware of. We're not perfect. We're not perfect. There's no complete skill sets in every one of our agencies in the government. So there's a need for us to collaborate of how we can improve things better. And if the private sector has a lot of suggestions, if the non-government organizations have access to certain experts that will allow us to recognize and see all these limitations, then I'm pretty sure the DPWH would be happy to adjust the plans and designs that they have. So when they started cutting trees, they were under the assumption that the expansion of the road would help move things faster. And yes, right now we have scooters, but maybe later on, in preparation of a forecasted future, we might have to entertain buses. It might not sound good right now, but it might be the safest way for us to travel later on. So there's a lot of things that we may not be aware of if we don't do conversations like this. And if Local Lab would host regular conversations like a Siargao forum, I think that would be a good venue for many of our agencies to share their ideas and plans, to be able to somehow present options and collectively as a society come up with alternatives of how we could develop and maximize again access to funds that we could tap on to be able to address the goal, which is I think for everyone is to have a sustainable island of Siargao.
Okay, good evening. With regards to the DNR's response on the projects of DPWH, actually, DNR is saddened if there are trees that will be affected once there are infrastructure projects such as roads that will be constructed or implemented by DPWH. However, the government has a way of compensating the damaged trees that will be affected during the construction. The DPWH is required to plant 100 seedlings of indigenous species for every tree cut. No? So that's how we do it. And today, we always make sure that the infrastructure projects of DPWH will not be implemented without the PAMBI clearance, the Protected Area Management Board clearance. The PAMBI, the board, will issue clearance to these projects that are being implemented by DPWH, making sure that there will be less impact to the environment on the development that they're going to do. No? And we always make sure that all roads that are being any infrastructure project that will be implemented by the government shall be implemented within the multiple use zone only. If there are roads, it happened in my term that there are road projects that are passing through a strict protection zone. The board did not allow it. So the board advised to divert the proposed road to an area which is a multiple use zone. So we don't really allow infrastructures that will pass through a strict protection zone. That's all, sir.
Thank you for your answers. I think we have one last question from the back.
Hello, good evening. I'm not gonna ask a question, but I just want to add to what Mayor Coro said to address the concern of San Isidro. I'm Lieutenant Tuazon from the Philippine Coast Guard. As mandated by RA 9993, we are the lead agency for maritime search and rescue, marine environmental protection, maritime security, law enforcement. So we had this program in last October in General Luna, wherein we were able to train 400 plus boat operators, tour guides, and surfers ng water safety training. So we did lectures, we conducted lectures on first aid, elementary first aid, bandaging, and basic water survival techniques. So our program is to reach all the municipalities of Siargao. So, sir, actually, tomorrow we were supposed to have that said seminar in San Isidro. However, we were suddenly called to go to Butuan for an emergency meeting. So if you, this coming November, second week of November, we have WASAR training and lifeguard training, and that is for free. So if, just to contribute to the resiliency of Siargao Island, you can just approach us or visit our Facebook page or message me or any one of my staff, because we have Coast Guard substations all over Siargao. So if you want to train your local community with regards to the basic water safety, we provide that for free. So actually, after General Luna, we went to Santa Monica, then the next one was in San Benito, and then supposedly tomorrow, sir, we were supposed to had that seminar in San Isidro, but due to Call of Duty matters, we postponed it. So I think it's just a matter of really building a strong partnership between the Coast Guard and the LGUs. So right now, kasi we have a vision in the Coast Guard to be really a reliable and relevant unit in Siargao. So if you need anything with regards to maritime safety and water survival trainings, just approach us. We are really more than willing to assist the LGUs. So there. So
Do you want to ask a question, sir? Okay. Last na.
Quick lang po. I'm Tad Samson, and with me is Jessa. We are from the Ramon Abutis Foundation from Cebu. I think kami lang siguro yung galing Malayao, na mga participants. First of all, I would like to thank Komunidad for allowing us to attend, and also for this wonderful and productive discussion, dialogue about exchanging our best practices and experiences here in Siargao. I just wanted to share one of our best practice there in Cebu. If you heard about talking about disaster management, tourism, waste management, and other programs of the local government, I just wanted to share only one best practice. If you heard about Purok system, we have this program with Rafi in partnership with local government units in the province of Cebu. The project is all about humanitarian disaster preparedness and response through Purok system. This is about building community resilient through Purok system. Why Purok system? Because this is about organizing the community. Just like people's organizations here in Siargao, you're organizing community-based tourism communities, or people's organizations. So, good that you are investing. Just like our foundation, we are also investing in community organizing and capacity building for disaster management in collaboration, in partnership with the local government of Cebu province. So, yeah, thank you very much.
Sige, thank you so much for all the questions, and thank you, speakers, again, for answering them.
Okay, so once again, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I think that's a wrap for our insightful conversations together with our esteemed speakers here. So on behalf of Komunidad, dear speakers, thank you so much for sharing your time, expertise, and insightful ideas about resilience and sustainability. So for sure, our participants this evening, especially the participants coming from the 9 municipalities as well as from the NGOs in attendance, have learned a lesson or two about climate resilience and sustainable development. Right? Amen? Kahinay lagi. Okay, so on behalf of Komunidad, of course, we are so honored to have you here again. Once again, dear speakers. So with that, we would like to present our certificate of recognition as well as our token of appreciation to all of you. But before that, I'd like to request Ms. Kay Sangalang, Komunidad's Impact Director, as well as Sir Al Goles, Project Manager of Komunidad, to do the honor of handing the certificate as well as the token of appreciation. But before that, please allow me to read the citation of the certificate. KomunidadXchange Series, Climate Resilient Siargao, Certificate of Recognition is hereby awarded to Jolly Joyce Tibay in recognition of her invaluable sharing of expertise as a speaker in KomunidadXchange Fireside Chat, Bridging Resilience and Tourism Through Early Warnings on the 24th of October 2023 at Kawa Resort, Siargao, Surigao del Norte, organized by Komunidad, supported by GSMA, UKAid, SITGOA, signed Felix Aike, founder and CEO, Komunidad Global. Okay, same certificate is presented, of course, to Honorable Coro, to Sir Adrian Camingue, and of course to Sir Samuel Malayao. Shaka sign.
What did you say your name was?
Okay, so once again, on behalf of Komunidad, thank you very much to our esteemed speakers for sharing their expertise to us tonight. And of course, thank you as well, Miss Iris, for being such a great moderator of the conversation. And now, to tell us more about this platform, please join me in welcoming Komunidad's Impact Director, Ms. Kay Sangalang.
Okay, so good evening. I won't take much of your time. I know everyone is hungry. I'm hungry as well. So, nakita niyo naman po sa video, no? So, our platform, it is a public web app. We've already launched this, I think, last week or last month when we conducted our phase 2 training. Isa na lang po ang request namin from Komunidad. We would like to request our partners here today from the local government. Thank you pala for being here. All of you 9, nandito po kayo lahat, as well as the CSOs, the NGOs, as well as the foundations na galing pa po from Cebu, to help us promote the website because it will definitely benefit your stakeholders, your beneficiaries, not only for disaster preparedness, but for their day-to-day activities as well. And hopefully, magamit din siya for tourism purposes because we all know naman na weather and climate affects everyone, diba? Sabi nga natin, I always hear this, that resilience is not just a word anymore, it's a way of life. So we're not just talking about preparing for disasters, but being resilient every day in terms of our business, in terms of our activities. And here in Siargao, alam naman po natin that tourism is our, kumbaga parang main industry, no, apart from agriculture. So hopefully, our public web app, resilientsiargao.ph, will be able to help our communities to be more resilient and to be more prepared in their activities. So yun lang naman po, and hopefully after this session, no, after this activity, we are going to have our IEC activities with the LGUs. So babalik po sila Al, the team, sa ating mga municipalities to conduct IEC and help us promote this website. Again, this website po is developed by Komunidad, funded by the GSMA, UKAid, and SIDA. And ito po, ano na siya, hopefully, for eternity na dun yung website natin. No? Basta lang po, magagamit siya. Makita po natin na it is being useful siya for everyone and for every sector. So with that, again, thank you. And hopefully, we are able to achieve our objective for today. Not only to gather everyone and kumbaga, elevate our discourse when it comes to climate resilience, sustainable tourism, but to siguro provide a platform to foster collaboration and partnership. No, we appreciate all of your insights, and hopefully after this event, no, mag-continue yung collaboration natin. Not only between the LGUs, but between the private sector, the NGOs, the CSOs that are here today, and of course, Komunidad naman will be here to support you when it comes to digital transformation. So with that, thank you and good evening.
All right, thank you so much, Ms. Kay, for sharing more about resilientsiargao.ph web app. Okay, so once again, thank you so much for your presence here today. So the day isn't over yet. We have a delightful dinner and social gathering planned. It is a time for relaxation, networking, and sharing your thoughts on what we have learned today. So once again, thank you to our partners, speakers, and each one of you for being part of this important event. Let's enjoy the evening share ideas, and continue to work together for a resilient and sustainable Siargao. On behalf of everyone involved, I wish you a wonderful evening. So with that being said, I'd like to request everybody to please stand for the grace before me.